What is up, everyone? I am back with a great review. This week, Iron Lung came out, and this movie was made by Markiplier. He is a famous YouTuber. If you don't know, go check out his channel. I highly recommend it. He plays a bunch of solo horror, either top tier horror games or indie horror games. Either way, he's a great YouTuber. I've watched him since I want to say 2017. So I know a little bit more about him. He has made some certain projects in the past. A TV show, I think, that dealt about like sleep or something. I didn't get to see that. I heard too many mixed reviews on it, so I kind of left it in the dust a little bit. But he made one cool little YouTube thing that made you choose how this character made choices, which I did like. It was pretty funny. But this one is not funny. This is a actual horror movie that is based off of the video game Iron Lung. Now, if nobody is familiar with Iron Lung, which I know not too many people are, I was barely familiar with it. I'm going to be honest, I did my research for this movie literally yesterday. So there's small little pieces that I still don't understand, but this movie did its best to explain everything and added a great story to it that most people cannot do for movies. And this is why I want to give my flowers to Markiplier. He made a story of a game that literally all you went down there to do is take pictures and something hunted you in the Blood Ocean. And your ship is called the Iron Lung. Submarine, sorry, not ship. But the story itself is complicated, okay? So this is set in, I want to say, I've heard 3 different people talk about it. It was set in 1992. We've already explored throughout the universe. We've expanded to planets. That's cool. But what happens is the great, what was it? It was kind of like a wipe. So what happened is every planet disappeared, and the people on the planets disappeared with the planets. The only thing that were left were moons. So like, I want to say our moon would probably still be here, but Earth would be gone. And what had happened is a phenomenon happened to where blood, river, or oceans spawned on these moons. And it made for like a very weird, like they're trying to find resources to survive because again, planets are gone. All there is barren moons. No food, no water. So they had to go fend for themselves. And this blood ocean was kind of, I want to say, a key in a sense. Now, the movie takes a deeper dive into what some of the stuff was and changes some of the story so you can feel closer to Simon, which is the character that you play as in Iron Lung. And Mark, I want to give him so much freaking credit because for writing it, story was still good. I loved the story. I loved what they did with it to make it a compelling story, not just, oh, Simon goes down there to take pictures of stuff that's down there and that's it. No, he added a great backstory for Simon. Simon is a convicted felon, so you feel like, okay, this is what it's meant to be. Simon is a pretty bad guy. And if you understand certain concepts of the movie, you will like Simon for what he was trying to do. And I give Mark credit to him. Again, writing it was a great thing. Now, his acting, I have to admit, for 2 hours being stuck with just Markiplier for an entire movie, kudos to the man. He's trapped literally in a submarine for 2 hours. Yeah, you get to see maybe 1 or 2 characters towards, like, I want to say, like, the 30-minute mark. But after that, all you get is him talking to a box. Not like a box, but like a pretty much a communications radio. That's all he talks to. And you see his slow descent into madness because of the blood. Because I guess what really did happen is, the ship is breaking because it's not meant for that exploration. So some of the blood does leak onto him. And I think he's slowly losing it. Like the blood is, kind of messing with him in a sense. And that's what I liked about it. Because in the game, it doesn't even say anything about the blood. I don't remember anything about the blood being like, kind of like messing with you. The only thing was the big creature that chased you. And in this movie, the thing is there, like the big creature that is haunting him is a menace. I want to express that they made this thing so freaking eerie that even from the game when it's like hunting you and it's just you, it did make for great like storytelling for the game. But for the movie aspect, when he is taking pictures, I literally was watching that camera because again, throughout the thing, you're taking pictures of stuff, and he hits the button and it shows on the screen. So like he did that through the whole movie, and I'm like looking like, is that fucking thing following him? And there's some, I don't know if it's like blink and you'll miss it moments, but I swear I watched one time where he turned his back and that thing was just sitting there. I was like, ugh. It's the eerie aspect. And this is what I love of horror. It's not using, he didn't use cheap jump scares to get us. They were like slow moving, like, oh, hey, what is that? Like there's something behind him, but it's his hallucination because again, you're trapped by yourself. They even said like during the movie, like he disappeared for like a couple days and his oxygen was running low. So it could have been his mental from the oxygen depriving. There's just so many aspects that I love about this movie. Like, this is what I like from horror movies, to where it's mentally messing with you, but, like, you don't know what's real. But he doesn't either. So it's like, who's really, like, what is really happening to him? And I like that because it's the mystery of, like, I want to go see it again. Like, I'm not joking, ladies and gentlemen. When I say I want to go see this movie again, I generally want to go see this again because Mark did such a good job of it. I'm not even joking. I was like on the edge of my seat 90% of the time. The only thing I will say I hate about this movie is the shaky cams that they did at certain points of the movie. That is what really bugged me. But again, for a guy who literally funded it, wrote it, produced it, and did his own acting, that still doesn't give it a bad rating in my book. Mark's acting for a YouTuber, for a guy who literally just sits in front of a camera and just plays horror games and makes goofy noises and does his own thing, you see how much passion he has in this. I'm not even joking. I'm not trying to sit here and glaze Markiplier. I could say he sucked ass, but no, what he did blew my mind. Most YouTubers or content creators that step into that limelight suck, or most of them try too much, but Mark, for sitting there for 2 hours by himself in a sub that was actual practical effects, it wasn't CGI'd. There was barely any CGI in this movie. I give him full credit for what he did. This movie is a 9 out of 10 for me. Again, the shaky cams only dropped it a certain part is because that's what I felt. And there was a couple scenes in the movie that I kind of felt could have been taken out. But that is beyond the point of like, for 2 hours, I felt entertained. I was on the edge of my seat. I wanted to learn more about this. I actually want to go back and watch it again just to see what I missed. And I want to give credit to Mark more than anything because for what he is making, a story on a game that really doesn't have much, you really sense the passion that this guy has for the movie. And I love it. This is something that most YouTubers fail at that make stuff like this. They don't put that much passion. They just rely on everyone else to do the work. When this is Mark writing, producing, and doing everything by himself, it's there and it shows. This is what I generally want more from big movie companies. Passion. Because it makes me feel like I spent money to watch this. And for 2 hours to feel entertained, that's very rare. Most people don't even make it that far. Like some movies, I'm just like bored because again, too much CGI or this and that. It just doesn't feel right. So I will say if you are a fan of Markiplier, this movie will satisfy you. You will get a lot of Mark, but him acting is still a great thing about this. It's not bland, it's not stupid, it's not basic. It's something that you can feel that was put a lot of effort into. Now, if you don't understand Iron Lung, you're not going to probably like it, but it's a good movie just to go out and just, say, hey, you know what? This is something interesting. And for horror, again, this is what I want from horror. I don't want cheap jump scares or, the same slasher that we've seen since we were literally back in 2001. No, this is something different. A guy that understands horror at its aspect. That you can mess with people, but you don't need cheap jump scares. And the blood, oh my God. I don't know how this man lived through some of these shoots with all the blood on him. I will fucking praise the hell out of whoever did the blood and the special effects because good God Almighty, they were paid handsomely and they are going to get it back tenfold because this movie is already looking to make some big bucks. And it was pretty packed at our theater. There's a decent amount of people there to watch it. Either they were there to support Markiplier or they were just there to watch the movie. I don't know, and I don't care because Mark deserves what's coming. The praise and the glory to make a movie on his own free whim and produce a great movie that lasted 2 hours. Could it have been shorter? Yes, but I will gladly say if you support Markiplier, go support this guy. Go buy a ticket, go buy some popcorn, and go enjoy this movie because I don't care what anybody else says about the slow pacing of the movie. I didn't feel that at all in the first half. It felt like, yeah, this is what the game was meant to be. Or the game was, actually. If you guys actually have seen people play it, it does start off slow because, again, you're learning the controls of the thing and you're learning that he has to go do these little, take pictures and, you slowly start to feel that thing hunting him because, again, he's in a blood ocean. And the only thing he can see is from that freaking camera. And then the rest of the story progresses. I'm not going to get into spoilers because I just can't comprehend what I watched because it was just that good. And again, kudos to Mark about making a good movie. So I will gladly say that this movie exceeded my expectations of what Mark could do. I'm not saying I was expecting a very bad movie. I was expecting something kind of bland, something kind of just But when I watched more and more of Mark play the game, I watched people play the game, you kind of realize that this movie started off from nothing. So for him to learn the lore, to actually go to the creator of the game and make this movie, and then come out with a banging soundtrack, great visuals, great acting, and a decent story to keep the movie afloat, that's a 9 out of 10 for me. Again, guys, if you guys want to go support Markiplier, I would say go. Because I could watch this movie about 3 more times and still get the satisfaction at the end. Because it is a great, satisfying ending type of movie. Now, could this be made into a franchise? I don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I want one. I'm just going to say that this movie did what it needed to do. If it's a one-off, cool. Mark, go make some other stuff. I will gladly watch because I can tell when you put passion into something, it comes out beautiful. And I want that for people, to make passion projects and get funded. But the thing about Mark's little project, it wasn't funded by a big studio. All you got right away when the movie started was just the intro. And it's like, well, damn, nobody did fund this. It was just him and a group that made art. And I love that. So I'm going to say this with a full heart, and you guys know my opinion on a lot of stuff. Movie companies need to step up. Because right now, if Mark can make something this good, and he's already exceeded his budget, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't care about the money. He's just probably happy that people are seeing his movie. You need to step up, people. Because if a man can make a movie off of a game that had no story, little lore, and it's now like the #1 movie in America, it's competing with Sam Raimi's Send Help, we need to rethink. And Mark, I don't know if you will watch my videos or not, but I will gladly say that's an A+ in my book, buddy. Keep making videos, keep making movies, and make passion projects that you love the greatest thing ever because you have my full support. As a content creator, I have grown up watching all of you guys make content, and I can see the passion that goes into them, and that's what I am trying to do. And I love this for anybody that gets into content or anything you love. When you put in the passion and the work and the actual effort in, you get great results, and people will love you for what you do because they can sense the passion. And I have nothing else to say because I'm a small content creator. So for me to actually want to keep going with this, I could see that Mark put in the work and how much I've seen his interviews and the stories he tells on YouTube about this project. It gets me excited to keep going with this. And I applaud Mark again. I can't express how happy I am for him because seeing a man that literally broke down into tears say that this was everything he wanted to get it out there for people, for his fans. Kudos to you, Mark. Shout out to his team that made the movie. Shout out to the creators that were in the movie. And shout out to you, Markiplier. I wish you the best on your movie. If you guys want to go see it, go check it out. My full support is with Markiplier on this. And I'll catch you guys in my next review. Peace.